Hello, welcome back to class. My name is Naya Abernathy and I am your professor here at the Dignity Ambassador Academy. And before we dive into our lesson and our practice today, first we're going to lay our foundation of dignity. Dignity is the intrinsic worth and value each being carries that cannot be taken away. You've got it, I've got it. Your neighbor has it, the stranger who you don't know has it, the more than human world has it. How we're interconnected to one another is across this line of intrinsic worthiness and value. And when we move from that place, then life feels, unfolds, has some different texture to it. And we're inviting you into that because we believe it's really beautiful to experience life that way. And so we're still talking about difficult emotions. And we talked about maybe why you might have some difficult emotions, but now we're going to talk about what some of those emotions could be and what to do. So there's not like a certain set of emotions that's difficult for everybody. Really, emotions become difficult when you did not, have not, do not have permission or practice in experiencing them. You don't have the permission to experience the emotion and you don't have practice in experiencing them. And that's what makes them difficult. So for some of us, there are emotions like being enraged, being resentful, being regretful. These are emotions that are difficult because we didn't have permission to feel them and we didn't have practice in experiencing them. For some of us, the emotions that are difficult are things like contentment, things like pleasure. So again, if you didn't have permission and if you don't have practice experiencing them and welcoming those emotions in, then they might be difficult for you to experience now. And so what do? Right? First, you get your supports around you always. If you're entering into this new experience, especially with something that has not been a part, or maybe you have ignored it or you've pushed it to the side and you're trying to open the door, right, to let it in, make sure you have your supports. It can be something as simple as just centering breathing that you do, where you slow your breath down, do some deep intentional breathing. It could be a grounding where you put your feet flat on the floor, sink into your chair, really feel the weight of your body. It could be something where you have the resources of other people. It could be a professional, it could be a personal relationship, it could be a family pet, it could be you going outside, taking a walk, or just being in the natural world. So whatever you need, have those near and in place with and for you as you practice this over time. And the other thing is you take your time. You take your time, and the first thing I encourage you to do is to just notice that the feeling is there. Just notice that the emotion is present, right? And allowing yourself to notice it. Then you can allow yourself to acknowledge it and really, really pay some attention to it and say, yep, I see you. I do see you there. I'm acknowledging that you are there. And then beyond that, you can continue into affirming. And this is when it starts to feel, it can start to feel okay for that feeling to be there, where you affirm, yes, I am experiencing this emotion right now. And when you're ready, and again, this is practicing. You don't do the noticing and the acknowledging just one time. You practice, right, over and over, and you lean further and further into what it looks like for you to welcome, to allow these emotions to be present. And then when you're ready, you welcome it, right? It's almost like if you're welcoming someone into your home, you expect them, right? So expecting the difficult emotions to show up simply because they're a part of your human experience. Not expecting them out of fear, but just knowing that they're available to be a part of your experience, and that when they show up, it's okay. So these are some of the practices that I would invite you into. Of course, practice them and use your wisdom and what feels good and right and what you're ready for. And I'd love to hear from you how those practices are going, and I will see you in the next